Сайтович говорит слово тоже. А все добавили. Причин B нет, да? Причин нет. Все начинать. Все.
Our distinguished guests, our dear participants, we can start. So, good afternoon, everyone. We are so happy to see you once again. And welcome to the closing ceremony of the 10th Kazan OIC Youth Entrepreneurship Forum. So, please, more applause for this. Thank you. The last 3 days were really quite an experience with lots of different events and now such numbers. We accepted more than 150 applications from 47 countries, and now we have only 30 startup finalists from 17 countries. The participants presented their startups, had 2 sessions on creative industries. First of all, the promoting national and traditional culture through creative entrepreneurs, and how is artificial intelligence shaping the creative industries. We also met the residents of the creative cluster in different business facilities in Kazan, like the creative startups of IT Park, main coffee shops, main bookstore, Yummy Music, Mon Theatre International Library, and sports and training park, as well as DJ school at the Uram Extreme Park. So how was it? Please, more applause if you really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. And of course, our participants work on 5 different cases about how entrepreneurs from OIC countries and Republic of Tatarstan interact. And that was a team effort. In just a few minutes, we will be starting our presentation. But before we started, let me introduce our distinguished guests today. Just stand up. His Excellency Damir Fatahov, Deputy Head of the Federal Agency for Youth Affairs. Thank you. His Excellency Rinat Sadikov, Minister of Youth Affairs of the Republic of Tatarstan. Her Excellency Irada Ayupova, Minister of Culture of the Republic of Tatarstan. His Excellency Rafik Ismailov, Director General of the Eurasian Office of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum. His Excellency Timur Suleimanov, Assistant to the Rais of the Republic of Tatarstan, Chairman of the Regional Branch Council of the All-Russian Movement of Children and Youth Movement of the First. Her Excellency Anastasia Grishneva, Minister of Youth Affairs of the Republic of Mordovia. His Excellency Mikhail Kuznetsov, Commissioner for Entrepreneurship Development in the city of Kazan. Thank you very much. And now let me introduce the rules of our presentation. The finalists, our creative entrepreneurs from OIC countries, were offered different topics for working on. The first one, on development of craftsmanship and handicraft industry, on the support of young creators. The third one, the systematic interaction of young people at the international level and the possibility of building communication with the government and interaction with large enterprises and organizations. First 2 cases were proposed by the team that is developing the concept of the new Zoom. Zoom is a central universal department store. The other 3 cases were proposed by the art residency Reactor. And yesterday, the participants had a productive case work. Each team was randomly given a case, and in a few hours, they brainstormed together and found the solution and prepared even a presentation now. And so now we invite to our scene the first team. But before this, I would just a friendly reminder, we have only 10 minutes for each team. It means 5 or 7 minutes to the presentation and then 3 minutes to feedback from our distinguished experts. So, yes, the first case study was prepared by the Center for the Development of Creative Industries on the basis of the Central Department Store. It is dedicated to the handicrafts and folk arts. The team's main goal was to find the answer to the question, what should be the next step in the development of traditional arts? So, let me invite to the scene Pavel Antipov from Russia and Aimonde Agbaje from Nigeria. Please welcome. Dear guests, you have on the tables the description of every case. Please welcome to the scene. More applause, just to support our participants.
Добрый день, уважаемые.
Good day, dear members of the jury, dear colleagues.
Hello, my name is Ayu, and I'm from Nigeria. Simply wait.
I'm pleased to introduce our team. I have Pavel and I have Selim from Kazan. And our team, we are one of the most diverse teams in the all. And we are pleased to present to you our solution to the case study.
У нас задача была довольно...
Our task was quite simple and difficult at the same time. The task was to increase the number of trade among the specialists, craftsmen's trade. So we would like to create a center for promotion of craftsmen. There are some specialists who help promoting producers in marketplaces. And I think that this is a very good strategy in this case. So what we are offering. Yesterday, I called these specialists and I asked who deals with promotion in marketplaces, and we created a team who are going to be in this center. There's going to be a fulfillment managers and management for promotion. What is going to be their task? Their task will be for craftsmen to do only their work. They're going to produce their products and they're going to focus on the production of their products. And the center is going to sell them in marketplaces, local and foreign marketplaces, so that their trade increases and so that they can earn more money. Because the producers, the manufacturers, they need money so that they can expand their production. And so their main focus is going to be, and this already can be done within the few next weeks. We can help with that because we have already a finished strategy. And my colleague will tell you about the concept.
So can you imagine? This piece is one of the most important cultural pieces in Nigeria. And the person who made this, they're just fully focused on their craft. They just want what they do. They're not concerned about their business success. They're not concerned about who buys it. But here I am in Kazan, wearing this beautiful cap, made locally by people in Nigeria, local artisans. But they have this problem. They can't access the right market to make sales and increase their success. So here I am now, as I'm wearing this cap. I feel the pain, I feel the passion, because a lot of people here have commended this cap on me. They wish they could have a purchase, but they don't have access to the right people. So what we're trying to do with the Craft Zone is to make sure that there is market expansion for local craftspeople and these artisans. And what we're trying to do is that as they are fully focused and immersed in the craft, we are making sure that they have this access to the market to exhibit their product, their unique creations, and showcase the culture. Just as I am here, showcasing my culture, but no one in the exhibition area of the Kazan Forum is from Nigeria and is showcasing this beautiful culture from our country. So, what I try to do with Capstone as well is to enable cultural collaboration. For example, I'm here now. The Minister of Culture, the Commissioner for Culture is wearing a very beautiful blue dress, and here I am wearing my own hat as well. What about we do some form of cultural exchange? I showcase my product or my craft as a Nigerian, showcase it to her, and then get to also know about her. I remember yesterday we met with the Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Tatarstan, and we found that similarity because we're both wearing hats. Because I'm wearing a hat, she's also wearing hats, and we could find some form of a common ground and cultural collaboration with what we are doing. So another what we are also providing is marketing magic, because these craft people, they are fully immersed on the craft, and because of that, they don't know how to market their products. They don't know how to even sell them. They don't even know how to speak English. Most people, they're just local artisans. So what you're trying to provide them is a marketing magic by crafting the best content for them, giving them the best form of marketing ever, leveraging digital tools to make sure that they have the right access, and the people, even though they don't speak the language, they can even get to know more about the product. So making sure they flourish financially, because these craft people, they love what they do so much, they're just fully immersed in the production. So what we want to make sure is that they flourish financially, they make sales, which is the essence of making business. What is the essence of crafting, spending a lot of hours making these products, and there are no sales at the end of the day, which of course, there's no business. So we're trying to make sure that these craftspeople, they flourish financially and they make sales. Empowering creativity, because creativity has no boundaries. So what about we use Craft Zone to make sure that these local craft people, they collaborate together, know one another, and share creativity amongst one another. For example, I'm very good in a particular craft, and I have a colleague of mine who also is very good in another craft. What about we do some creative collaboration and then empower ourselves as creatives? What we want to do is crafting the future. Yesterday, when we met with the Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Tatarstan, it was very inspiring to hear our project in trying to showcase Tatarstan to the world through the craft. It was a very big international project. So what about we craft the future by making sure that our local craftspeople, they have all the resources they need. They have all the gaps that are bridged in terms of accessing the right market. For example, how will someone that is in Tatarstan be able to sell a product to someone in Nigeria? How will someone in Nigeria be able to sell a market, sell a particular craft to a market in Tatarstan? And mind you, we are all part of the OIC region, which means that we have good international cooperation. We have good friendship with other countries in the OIC region. That means, so why can't we not trade our craft together? And probably by the end of the day, I can see the commissioner wearing a cap like this to an international event. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your solution, such a good solution. So if you, dear guests, have any feedback, don't hesitate to ask our participants.
Добрый день.
Good day. My question is as follows. The craftsmen, they usually don't have a line of products, but when it is usually a marketplace, it means there is some kind of a volume of the same type of products. If you get a big demand and you're not able to satisfy that demand, what are you going to do in this case? This is the first question. And the second question was whether some calculations about logistics, because delivery of the product may be quite expensive. So it should be either some kind of segregation into product types or something. Maybe you're going to send light products, but in any case, these are the vulnerabilities of these of your projects that today may devaluate your project. Thank you for the question. Let me start with the second question. You correctly said that these are the weaknesses of the project, and these weaknesses should be eliminated during the production, during the sales, when we calculate the right price, when we put the cost of the product. As for the logistics, this is a technology that has already been quite developed, because specialists do it quite well, that promote products in marketplaces, including the markets, foreign markets, Chinese markets, and other countries. Therefore, the problems of logistics has already been resolved. There is a special fulfillment manager who controls deliveries and who controls logistics. As for the cost, all these costs, all these expenditures, I'm not going to speak for the whole industry or for each craftsman, because some craftsmen may have many goods of the same time. Some craftsmen may have handmade goods in a single exemplar, but we decided that this is going to. We decided that craftsmen will need money in the moment, just while they are being sold, and there are different channels of sales. Maybe different craftsmen will have different distribution channels. Some of them may use Wildberries or Ozone marketplaces. Others may have some targeted advertisements, and the analysis of the markets of sales and supporting all operational tasks. This is something which is to be done by the Center of Promotion of Craftsmen. So that, because this is an analytical work, it also involves a lot of other different problems, like business problems, so that the craftsmen, they supply, and then they should, just add some kind of percentage or share, a margin, and then they can expand their production. Let me say the following thing as well. How Airbnb won back in the past. They were making just beautiful pictures of apartments, and this way, their services were used for selling and buying apartments, and other services were not used for that. Now, this was a very small startup, so we would like to make a focus on package and promotion, so that the goods are packaged well and then are sold well, sold better.
We are running out of time, so please back once again our participants, so you can take your seats. And let's move on to the second case. The second case study was about a similar problem, and the team was tasked with developing the concept of the International Craft Development Center for OIC countries. How awesome it sounds, don't you think so? And so let's figure out what exactly the team come up with. Please welcome Bilkantun Tulanbayev from Uzbekistan and the representative from Pakistan, Mawar Ahmed.
Good day, everybody. My full name is Beksultan Tulanbayev, and I'm from Uzbekistan, Tashkent. So let's quickly talk about this story. What? The presentation, I guess.
More applause for backing, please. I guess you can start represent your project,
So,
and then we will turn
without, as the wise man said, without the history, we can't build the future. So we have to mix the digitalization world with the history of traditional crafts among OIC countries. So our project is really about preserving and developing traditional crafts in OIC countries. So we would like to connect the past to the present. So let's move on to the problems.
So building on to the tale of relevance that we're talking about, the major problems that we have identified is the mass production of the local goods, which has decreased because of the rise of mass production of machine-produced goods and crafts. Another problem that we have defined is the declining interest because of the bigger brands and the relevancy which has gone outdated, as to say. Third problem that we have identified includes, I'm really sorry about the delay. Can you give me the ticker? The third problem that we have identified includes the lack of resources. For example, the access of finances, microfinancing, and the raw materials that are really expensive in some regions and inaccessible as well. The fourth problem is the globalization pressure, which is building globally as well because of the commercialization and devaluation of local crafts. So the proposed solutions that we have come up with is the skill development that has to be introduced. So a local craftsman can train the future generations or the future of the nation as well. Infrastructure, mixed-use spaces, and training and development are some of the problems that can be identified and solved through this. Another thing is the design innovation. In the design of the local crafting, we can introduce fusion fashion, modernization, and youth-centric approach, so it is more relevant to the market. Another thing is the marketing and expansion. So coming on to the marketing and expansion, we should analyze the sales channel and make it more accessible and representative as well. Influencer marketing is something that can be introduced so people can influence local crafts and handicrafts. Certification and guidelines are also something really important. So local crafts should have a certification and a branding guideline to ensure that they produce quality and improve the standard as well. Fourth is the access to finance. Microfinance and grants are something that can be introduced. Microloans, grants should be given. Equipment has to be up to date so that we can invest in the equipment as well. Tax exemption is something really important because even now some areas do face taxes. Intellectual property rights so that the crafts are authentic and IP restored, so they are not exploited by big designers and big brands. Cultural promotion should be ensured, so there's awareness and cultural festivals should be celebrated among the nations to enjoy and see the authentic displays of other traditions and crafts.
So let me continue about the International Craft Center. We are the International Craft Center. We have the formats how to developing. We have the strategy. Well, we could implement craft incubators. What it means: establish dedicated spaces that provide training equipment and the mentorship to support emerging craft entrepreneurs and startups. I mean, we could develop the local and international kind of entrepreneurs in the sphere of like traditional crafts manufacturing among OIC countries, and then design labs. We can host collaborative design workshops that bring together traditional artisans. And the next one is the craft. So craft incubators and accelerators. As the startups have their own two kind of ways, like developing two ways, like incubators and accelerators. As we are the International Craft Center, Traditional Craft Center, we could give some of solutions about intensive business development programs for how to teach the traditional craft pioneers and help enterprises scaling up and access new markets and more sustainable. So access the new markets means we could collaborate with all the kind of OIC countries members so that they can make some of international relations as well, selling their product very well. So what does this mean, the design labs and digital marketplace? So we have to, as I said before, that we have to collaborate the past and the future. Right now, the people selling their products online, using digital marketing strategies on social media networks. So the craftsmen can take the workshops from our International Traditional Craft Center, and then they can know about how to design the products, and they can use digital marketplaces. Last one is craft tourism and artisan hubs. We can create a centralized facilities. We can and also shared workshops, equipments, and resources, and as well as collaboration and knowledge sharing. So the next one. My colleague will continue the implementation of these key actions.
So the key actions for implementation, basically the roadmap follows capacity building. So there needs to be the capacity to build mass production can be introduced for more sustainable and a more channelized way. Fostering partnerships, so there needs to be, the need of the hour is to introduce more collaborations among international and national leverage institutions so that they can also have their confidence to expand. Mentoring and evaluation, so it can also be through the infrastructure, and it can also be done through the bigger brands and public-private partnerships. I do have more. Okay, thank you so much. I've bought something from my country as well, some handmade local handicraft. Unfortunately, these are for the women. So, yeah,
Thank you very
fortunately.
much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your deep presentation, for your presence. They were awesome. So, dear guests, do you have any comments on this presentation, on this project? Please don't hesitate. Yeah, sure.
Hello, thank you for brilliant presentation. And I have one question or comment, just in case you are the ones who organize this event, this boot camp next year. Just imagine that we, in 1 year, have already an infrastructure in the central mall, and we have the opportunity to arrange in the framework of Kazan Forum, in the new format, this event as a boot camp or incubator or accelerating program dedicated specifically to that project. Would it be possible? What do you think? And what should be the right way to arrange it? Because now you see this event from inside, but if you were organizers, what way would you recommend to arrange it?
Do you want to answer?
Just shortly.
So there's already a huge influx of global and international audience coming in on this forum, right? So it can be definitely organized, and it's way more faster and easier because you don't need to spend or arrange a lot of facility. You just need the correct artisans to portray the correct work. Processed goods should be there, and you can also tap into the marketing. Influencer marketing is really great. We are all delegates coming from different countries. We will have the influence to channel through our network. So I think that can be...
Should you be those who brings the different products, or are you like specialized in media, those who would support in broadcasting, making coverage of the products?
So both of them can be done. First part is basically more inclined towards trading because we're bringing in product. So that's called import-export. It's a trading network. And the other part is the influencer or the personal branding that you have, the network that you hold. So you can influence them to channel and purchase.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this awesome presentation. Please take your seat. And before the next presentation, it is worth saying a few words about the art residence reactor, as it was the residence that developed the following 3 cases. So Reactor helps young creative people to commercialize their activities in the creative industries. It's not uncommon for aspiring creative people to lack business skills. They are more about creativity and product creation. And so there are legal issues, a lack of capital, a lack of experience and knowledge, and the need to withstand competition, to name a few. What can we do to help creative industry startups grow faster and gain momentum? That was the question to work on. So we invite to our stand Abdel Fattah Al-Habchi from Lebanon and Shuga Hasbanhan from Bangladesh. Please welcome.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our group presentation, Upscale. Upscale, we have designed this project to empower the creative entrepreneurs in the creative industries. I'm Shaugat from Bangladesh. I have my friend with me, Abdul from Lebanon. To navigate the challenges that lies in for the creative entrepreneurs to become successful in their careers, we wanted to go to the root causes of why they lack business skills. So therefore, we created this problem tree, and we discussed several barriers for them, why they don't have the right business skill sets. It's because the creative entrepreneurs, they are more focused on creation, product creation. They have creative mind. Sometimes they don't want to think out of the box, the practical challenges and requirements to become successful in the business. Sometimes they lack the right educational background because most artists, they go to art schools where the education system, they focus more on the creativity and developing talent. So they don't receive the business training like to how to become successful in their profession. And I think most of the countries, they have SME government body in their countries. They offer free courses, business training, but it's just that the creative entrepreneurs are not aware of those programs. They don't know where to go to get these training programs. That's why they don't receive the right capacity building programs. It's because of the lack of awareness, also because they don't have access to the right network. They don't have the network access with the traders, the stakeholders, business people. So they just don't have the information. So lack of business skills leads to several problems for them. For example, they might face legal complications, legal consequences, because they might not have proper knowledge about licensing, documentations, and intellectual property rights. And then sometimes they lack capital. They don't have maybe the government doesn't have the capital or acceleration incubation program for these creative entrepreneurs. So they require very specialized programs for them. And again, they don't have experience in business. So they spend most time in thinking, developing new art and product, and which leads to business failure for them. And because they fail in their businesses, they cannot make or earn the livelihoods for their families. So, I mean, unfortunately, they sometimes have to leave their artistic career and switch to other traditional or conventional professions to make their livelihoods. So, in order to solve those problems, we have proposed these solutions for any creative entrepreneur in the industries, and my colleague Abdul will reflect upon the solutions.
Thank you. Okay, so there's a quote that I admire the most for Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein says, if you have 1 hour to solve any problem in the world, just spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and only 5 minutes finding out the solution. And this is what we're trying to do in our case study, is that we, as she mentioned, my colleague, we try to analyze the tree, and which was about centered around the main problem, which is the lack of business skills for entrepreneurs in the creative industry. So our solutions for this specific case were like improving the access to funding for programs, for incubators and accelerators, for education trainings, and for, of course, improving the networking events, like by implementing more networking events in areas. And like this one is also one of the greatest examples of like connecting investors, connecting startups from different backgrounds, different cultures, different countries. And of course, the market access and support to also support policies and regulations, for example, is if maybe in some countries or in some cultures, for example, that they don't have like the culture of business and business mindsets. and also to improve collaborations with other sectors, which also falls under the networking and events programs, and also the promotion and exposure, supportive ecosystem, continuous evaluation and feedback, which is a very important thing to always consider and do in any initiative. So this is just a brief description about what I just said: access funding, incubation, and accelerators programs that we wanted to highlight. So the actions that we need to undertake to maybe take further steps for those solutions is to conduct more research to understand the real need for those entrepreneurs and engage stakeholders also, any stakeholders involved in the process and any stakeholders involved in the entrepreneurship programs to understand also their understanding and their feedback about what's happening, and also collecting data, maybe not from stakeholders, from people who are like from the outside circle. And then, of course, surveys, interviews, we do the SWOT analysis, the mapping ecosystem, benchmarking, focus group discussions, utilizing technology, and of course, forging partnerships and collaborations. And this is our picture. Thank you.
شكرا جزيلا يا حل.
شكرا.
Thank you very much for the solutions. So, dear distinguished delegates, yeah?
Я еще добавлю. Наша основная...
Our main offer for this company is organizing networking events through which we will bring in and attract such young companies, startups, maybe even the ones that will do it as a barter exchange. So this company, this is an IT company, a media company, or a design company, who want to improve their background. Also, we would like to bring them in. We will use their goods in their startups, and they will use our startups. So we will do it jointly. We've used this system, and it was not always that beneficial, but we still do upskill program, and we will focus on this. Thank you very much.
If you have any comments or feedback, they're absolutely welcomed. Sure.
Я очень сложный вопрос, наверное, задам.
It's going to be a very difficult question, but unfortunately it's going to be in English. Did I understand you correctly that you plan on improving your entrepreneurship skills in creative industries? So not creative industries, but in creative areas. So there are entrepreneurs, those who do this, or you want to work on them. Did I understand you correctly? So it's a question. Does it seem to you that the model when we incubate an entrepreneur creates a wrong entrepreneur, and that will later ask us money for some development? And would it be better to raise entrepreneurs in the skills of financial education? No, our idea was actually on the contrary. We would like to raise a creative entrepreneur, and we do it through other resources and other industries. So some have design skills, and for some it's very well developed the media. So it's outsourcing for everyone. Yes, indeed. It's a kind of principle of building clusters. When one stakeholder supports the other. In this case, I only have one question: where do we take the money? What is the monetization model? And who will be responsible for final product? So actually, you have to be the final consumer.
And this is something that I was not able to see in here. I understand everything from the in terms of organization, but in terms of the product that you get finally, it's not clear for me. This is a free program. I mean, all people who are going to be involved in this system, they come to business. So it means that somebody has to pay money. What is going to be the goods? I never heard what is goods. You know, we are promoting the goods of my colleagues. They also promote my products. So we provide promotion to each other. So it's going to be a barter, exchange.
Okay, thank you very much for your project. Okay.
Imagine this, if we were like not only experts or those who are in certain field can add value to the project, but if we were investors, what would you ask for? Or maybe ask us, because each of us, we represent different fields. What assistance do you need to support this idea?
Спасибо за вопрос.
Thank you for the question. All areas, so where we need the problem, we are not able to cover all gaps because otherwise it would have been a perfect program. But we identified 4 main problems. For the beginning, we're going to work with 4 main losses in the business, weaknesses in the business that we have in the company right now. And others, we always need a finance. Finance is always in the first place.
Thank you very much. Please take your seats. So, as you know, this year Kazan will host lots of major international events, including the BRICS Summit. All this contributes to the development of international youth cooperation. But is it enough? I guess no. So could we set up an international youth hub in Kazan? How would it work? Let's see what Team 4 come up with. Please welcome Team 4. Guleyeva Kanul from Azerbaijan and the representative from Turkey, Senatorium Elchingaya. Welcome.
Selamun aleyküm.
Rahim Iteges. As you know, in 2024, Kazan will have a big youth forum in October, maybe, yeah? Great. And we have a great proposal for you for the next and for a few years in the future. Hope you will find well and you will implement our project. What is the issue in this such kind of forum? There is such kind of issues we have only, for example, only this event-based use, like their gathering program. We saw that, for example, and this is regionality, and there is non-continuous and non-sustainability, and the limited productivity. Yes, we think that the Kazan Forum, Youth Forum, and this forum, all of the forums have some advantage, but we saw that this is a little bit limited.
And we identified a market potential in youth travel being attracted to Kazan. Currently, 20-25% of all tourism belongs to youth travel, and youth tends to stay longer, they tend to spend more, and they tend to travel more frequently compared to the average tourist. So when we look at the numbers from 2017, tourism contributed 3.2 trillion rubles to the Russian economy, and this is equivalent to 3.8 of the Russian GVA. So this means that there is a huge potential for making Kazan an attraction center, an attraction capital for the youth.
And our mission is to facilitate continuous communication with this project, promote cultural exchange, understanding, support skills development, and encourage the innovations and entrepreneurship, build a new networking environment and future leaders, and enhance Kazan international standing.
So we have identified 5 key areas where youth is highly active and would define the future of the future. So these are startup and business, education, art, culture and tourism, sport, IT and robotics.
And actually, we have a solution as well. You can imagine like an umbrella. Our umbrella in our program is permanent use hub facility. We're just creating permanent use hub facility, and under this umbrella will be held regular programs and workshops, exchange and fellowship programs, entrepreneurial and innovation initiatives, and online education and collaboration platforms. Let's please explain what is the programs.
Okay, so we think that when youth come together to Kazan, they will come for a purpose. And that purpose is basically building their careers and building their skill set. Also, traveling is a huge opportunity for international young community to get to know the Tatar culture, and they will get to know the culture and help it spread all around the world.
In exchange and fellowship programs, in this program we want to hold academic programs and professional fellowships.
And for entrepreneurial and innovation initiatives, we have designed a youth studio. You should explain this more detail.
And what is youth studio? It is a very interesting program, youth studio. For example, from different cultures, from different countries, the participants, the young people, can apply online to this program, and they will be able to find the common mindset, the other young people, and they will gather in youth studio in Kazan. And at the final of the program, they can create their new idea in Kazan, the Kazan environment, their situations, and our village will encourage them to create new ideation. And after that, they will meet and implement their projects and ideas in innovation challenges.
So then at final stage there is the online collaboration platform, so that the conversation, the dialogue that has begun in Kazan can continue when the stay is over. And if for any reason the young people are not available to come to Kazan, they can still reach out to the activity that is happening around. So we have provided a virtual conference tool together with it.
And this is our youth village prototype. We think that we design it for you specially. And in this youth village, there will be startup hub zone, gaming zone, gastronomy, travel services like hotels, networking area, workshop area, everything all inclusive in one place. As you know, in Kazan, there is an Olympic village, yeah? In Azerbaijan as well we are welcoming the Olympic players, sport players in this village. But we propose that you can use this village and to improve your village like this, to add some places, some services. And what is it? At the finally, people will not go anywhere anymore. They will stay here. They will feed their emotional demands, emotional feeds, and after that they will create more and more in these places, and at the same time they will meet the same mindset people, and they will create their own idea for a long time and during a limited period.
Yes. There are also other advantages that we have designed for it. It will be affordable and accessible, so students stay on their budget, and especially for innovation challenges where there can be partnership opportunities with corporates, it can be the budget can be more easily supported through sponsorships, and having everything in the same location will just make this experience more easy. So we have designed an action plan to basically get this to the real life, we will first start with a feasibility study, then we'll follow with funding and partnerships. Then, of course, design a strategy for it, which key areas will be tackled with their which aspect, and maybe try it for the first time as a pilot, and hopefully increase the engagement and awareness of this opportunity of this place, so that young people start coming in.
And this is our Georgia's team from Azerbaijan, Turkey, Kyrgyzstan, and Azerbaijan also. So at the end, I want to say one thing, my opinion. Люди никогда не забывают эмоции.
People never forget emotions, and so what we would like, we'd like to leave emotions, so they keep the emotions until the end of their lives. Thank you very much.
Really beautiful presentation, your good solution. And I hope the organizers will take it into consideration, don't you? So if you have any comment, just small comment, please, they're absolutely welcomed once again. Okay, if anybody doesn't, so please, you have, okay.
There was interesting picture you showed where everything's inside one village. Don't you think that people love traveling and they just don't want to spend all the time at one place?
Please
I mean,
come
it's nice when you have this kind of environment with a university campus. They spend their time, and it's possible to study and spend time there. But
yes,
it seems that like Kazan itself as a city should be this kind of a environment where you can, but it's like maybe there are some core institutes should be there, and it's not like everything at one place. Or is it a model, or maybe I'm mistaken, maybe it is a model of iPhone, yeah, where you have everything, camera, everything, but it's always with you. And here's vice versa. You are always there, should be. It's like Titan yourself.
I understand your point. Thank you very much. But we mentioned that we have traveling services as well. It doesn't mean that we will create our village like a prison. We don't want to limit their life and productivity. We want to serve all in one place. Just they will. It is just for like limiting the wasting time and to be productivity, and all their need we can offer them in one place. Just it is just financial cost to decrease financial cost. It is for timing, wasting the timing. That's why all inclusive. But we have traveling services as well. They will travel all around. They will get and see around the city, get information about the Kazan. It's okay. And I prefer you to give services not limited in the Kazan city. Yeah, I know there is far away to Kazan. There is a big city as well. I forgot this name. It is the oil city. Albetivsky. Очень приятно. И a lot of cities around this Kazan. Yeah.
I'll just say, to balance what Timur said, this concept is being implemented in the Silicon Valley. They are creating a special environment or a cluster where people communicate with each other, having the infrastructure in one place in order to provide a community. And from this point of view, from the point of view of the ergonomics, this sounds great. And everything should be built in a way as to minimize distraction. People can be in logistics, but they are going to live in one topic. And what is going to be the scale? It could be a block, it could be a territory. This program is for a payment. People themselves, they pay approximately the amount of money. They pay, and maybe some sponsors will cover their costs.
И плюс у меня есть...
Also, I have one invitation. I have an invitation or proposal. I have a proposal. During our last meeting, I also said that. For example, unfortunately, I never heard about Kazan so much in Azerbaijan. I heard about Europe, I heard about Middle Asia and other places or countries. But for me, it is so heavy, so difficult. Why? Because in Azerbaijan there are so many Tatars, so many Russian speakers are there. In Azerbaijan there are Russian-speaking schools, there is a Russian sector. And for example, my son, he says, it's a pity, why don't I go there? Why don't I travel there if I am a Russian? I've never been there. So there are some people who don't know nothing about Kazan. They know nothing about Russia. If you had this type of programs for us, then the life would be, they all could get together in social media.
Just suggest you to invite the most popular social media users, bloggers, like very active entrepreneurs, very active artists, to here to organize some of programs for them and to spread the emotions, to spread about the Kazan's cultures, because you are very wealthy, really, you are very wealthy country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So we have a really lack of time, and let's move on to the fifth case. Thank you very much. Sorry, one more comment. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, please. Да, работает.
Actually, my question is a little bit connected with Timur's question, and it could be applied to all presenters. Do you see some, let's say, when we are drafting any project, we, as a rule, take into account some risks, and that's why my question is about, do you see taking into account some risks in generally, or in terms of, let's say, of sustainability of your project or achieving aims of your project?
Sustainability, yes, we see the sustainability, and that's why we offer this program to be held continuously, period. What is the sustainability? As I said, the emotions, the feedbacks, the good experience will spread in the worldwide, like in the other countries, in the OIC countries. Okay, what is your target? And I want to create in this program not to invite, for example, governmental participants or the participants who are supported by government. It should be individually. The individuals, the most popular persons, they should apply themselves. They will understand that this program will give them very good experience, very good networks, very good, for example, environment, traveling opportunity. That's why the program should create itself step by step. And yes.
Yeah, so the risk lies in creating the awareness effectively, and also getting the attraction and securing the funding, basically. Those are the main risks that we have observed, but we believe that having a fee for the participants to begin with is a good solution to this. And to increase awareness, we are going for a pilot, we designed a pilot lounge so that we see if this is a feasible thing to do or not, basically.
Thank you very much. Please take your seats. Thank you. So let's move on to the last but not the least for the fifth case. The global trend shows that creative industries are very fragmented and often consist of micro-businesses. It is quite challenging for them to communicate with the government and interact with large enterprises and organizations. So please welcome our representatives from Azerbaijan and Turkey, Samira Hasanova and Mahmoud Sabra. Please welcome to our stage. Applause, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, everyone. So statistics show that there is a quite often fragmentation of creative industries. They cannot go on a global level. They cannot always collaborate with organizations and entrepreneurs. And what is the problem? But first of all, let's see what are the creative industries. These include graphic design, photography, sculpture, fashion, music, animation, book publishing, accessories, and etc. So the first and the most main problem is high competition. Nowadays, there are plenty of people that are creating their brand, developing their business, and in order to go high, to be better than them, you should be different. You should be specific. You should have something that they don't have. The second one is lack of special education. If you want to be successful in your career, you should know your job very well. You should know every detail and be better than others. Low budget. In order to be known, for many people, you should have good advertisement, good marketing, and the budget is the most main thing that solves this issue. Lack of business skills. Even if you are good at your job, if you don't know how to promote yourself, you will not be able to be successful. And the last one is cultural relevance. Sometimes cultural difference can make limitation for your growth and development. And here is the pie chart of challenges faced by small creative industries in OIC countries. There is a percentage and the main reasons. This is limited access to funding, cultural barriers, lack of infrastructure, and intellectual property protection. And I let Mahmoud Sabra to call about solutions.
Thank you, Samira. In order to solve this problem, we came up with 5 solutions. The first one, we have to invest in education. We have to create more Erasmus program, exchange program, to allow the other student from another OIC country to join us to make exchange culture. Invest in technology. Allow startup to come to our country to make new projects by opening new incubator, new accelerator. Allow the investor to invest in our idea, the angel investors, the VC investors, to accelerate our SMEs company. Marketing, branding, advertising, campaign. Also for non-governmental and governmental. For non-governmental, we need to make more forum, more summit. As we see in Qatar last time, Web Summit in Qatar, in Poland, summits. Many summits happen, especially for accelerate the program, accelerate the ideas. For governmental, here we have a very big issue. We need to focus on it, and we ask the government to solve it. We need to reduce the taxation which allow the startup to continue in the business or not. For example, I am living in Turkey. This is one of my main problems, that we are paying huge taxation in our country. So this problem, it's lets the startup to move the startup from country to another country. So we need to reduce the taxation. We need to open a new techno park. We need to open a new zone, like a free zone, in order to reduce it. We need to remove the barrier between countries in order to allow another project, another companies to enter our countries, especially we are in OIC region. So we need to remove all this barrier by reduce the customs, remove the tariff and non-tariff. In order to make this point action, we part of OIC countries, we need to start open new incubator, new accelerators. We need to call the new startup from another country to join us. We need to move the startup ideas to SMEs idea. These SMEs will help our countries to improve, to grow. We need to make exchange programs, especially for university, because all the startup ideas came from university. Also, we need to ask the government and the non-governmental to facilitate the funds, the loan. We need to ask the investors and the VCs to enter our countries. Thank you for our team.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your presentation. So we have time just for one question. Does anybody have? No?
Thank you.
So thank you very much. Please take your seats.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, all participants. So we hope that all your solutions will be taken into consideration by the organizers and our guests. And now let's move on to the welcome speeches of the closing ceremonies from our distinguished guests. And it's a big pleasure for me to invite to the stage His Excellency Damir Fatahov, Deputy Head of the Federal Agency for Youth Affairs.
Good day to you, dear participants, distinguished guests of the forum. Good day to you, distinguished organizers. First of all, I would like to welcome you from the name of the Federal Agency on Youth Affairs, Rosmolodezh. I would like to thank the hospitable Republic of Tatarstan, who traditionally is hosting this event. Timur and I had time to exchange opinions that we are facing the feeling of déjà vu, of being in this very room. It takes us back to the annual hosting of this event. The topic that we've selected, that the organizer selected, is not so easy. Development of creative industries. This is an ever-relevant and eternal topic on discussion on how to make this unique creative product, how to monetize it, how to scale it, whether it does need scaling or not, whether it will or will not lose its uniqueness. But nonetheless, for sure, this is a very important topic. This is very serious in attracting tourists.
This topic demonstrates or provides an opportunity to showcase to various regions its uniqueness, its traditions, its culture. And there is no doubt that I would like to say thank you to all the participants, because you demonstrated a very complicated topic. But probably this year it was quite difficult to make a feedback, especially for me. I didn't take the microphone on purpose, because I decided to keep it until the end and tell you everything then. Last years it was easier because you had business products, business projects, money was provided or not provided, supported or not supported. But here I would like to support everyone, especially ideas, or maybe not ideas, but the idea of a youth hub in Kazan. It has been implemented for several years already. And Kazan is becoming a tourist mecca, especially for younger generation, especially for Islamic Cooperation Organization countries. Of course, there is no limits to perfection. You would like your children to know more about Kazan, but many things are being done and the changes are positive, that's for sure. What I'm saying is that, this is a complicated topic and a complicated format. And in spite of that, my great gratitude to all the participants. It's very difficult to provide a biased feedback because everybody's work was absolutely great. As for the future development, I don't want your work to be put on a shelf and forgotten. We have all types of different forms. For example, federal support projects. We organize different contests and competitions. We have projects of creative residences or art residence Tavrida, which is a federal project, and Tatarstan is the leader in this project. Even here on the stand of the organizers, you can see the art residence reactor as a sponsor, and but it has become an affiliate of the Tavrida residence. Therefore, we are ready if the organizers continue proposing some kind of catalyzing projects to participate in the above-mentioned, the presenter projects to be furthered. Then we are ready to discuss and decide where we're going to begin. From a small project to ideological platform on how the creative industry could be developed in our countries. So once again, many thanks to you. Special thanks to hospitable Tatarstan. Thanks a lot to our annual participants, annual sponsors, to Eurasian office. Special thanks to all of you, because thanks to you we can have this opportunity to gather the best people here every year. And that's for sure that this forum is not going to be the end for communications, the communications that you acquire. This way you acquire the opportunity to make up new projects, and most importantly, you acquire new friends. Therefore, the results of these forums are going to be at least good, friendly relations between our countries. So once again, my greetings to you, and on behalf of the federal agency, I wish all of you great success.
And now I give the floor to His Excellency Rinat Sadikov, Minister of Youth Affairs of the Republic of Tatarstan. Please, the floor is yours.
Good day, dear colleagues, dear friends. The first thing that I would like to say, I would like to express my thankfulness to every one of you for that level of work that you have shown during today and during the past few days. We can see that there was a great organization and preparation for all of the projects, and we really value that. Also, I would like to say many thanks for the preparation and the holding of our forum of young entrepreneurs of the Eurasian office, among other things also for your material support of organizing and holding of this this important forum, and to the Republican and organizational partners, to the Academy of Youth Diplomacy, and to the Foundation Salat. Many thanks to you, because for 10 years we have this opportunity to get familiarized with the projects that are presented to us by our colleagues from other countries. And I'm sure that next year we are going to hold this forum at a very high organizational level, and we'll hear more interesting and important projects for young people and together with young people. Thank you to you. Thanks a lot to you.
I give the floor to His Excellency Rafik Ismailov, Director General of the Eurasian Office of Organization of Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum. Please welcome.
Спасибо большое. Буду краток.
Well, thanks a lot. I'll be short. For us, the participation in this forum is another opportunity to meet with friends and to get to know the new people, the new ideas, new projects. For us, the participation in this forum as a partner is not only a big honor, but also a great experience, the significance of which could never be overestimated. As you know, by the end of this year, we are preparing in Azerbaijan a big international event, COP29, and our region COP29, and our Eurasian Youth Foundation is actively preparing for this event, and currently we are at a stage of preparation for various for implementation of various projects in the sphere of the protection of environment. It covers such areas as startups for the creation related to green technologies and other initiatives targeted at attaining sustainable development and protection of environment. I believe that the Kazan Forum as a project, it was successful. Today we had talks with Mr. Rinat, and he said that we still need a couple of years to know what are going to be the outcomes of this forum. After 2 years, the outcomes are going to be visible. But nonetheless, I'd say that this project is very successful. But usually the truth is in figures. And the figures that were mentioned during the opening of the event, like 10,000 projects that were presented, and other number-based indicators of projects that were selected and then discussed by the experts, these are great indicators. And it means that the Kazan Forum has turned into an effective platform for promotion of entrepreneurial initiatives. And in general, Tatarstan today could be called in a front line in the scale of Russian Federation for promotion of startups. And probably it wouldn't be an exaggeration if I say that Kazan is kind of gate to OIC countries. And at the end, I'd like to express my thankfulness to the International Foundation Salat, who are longtime partners. The government of Tatarstan, of course, for their constant support and engagement in this event. International partners, the role of which is also very high for the success of this event. And in the end, I'd also like to thank all the participants. I'd like to wish all of them success and successful implementation of all their entrepreneurial initiatives. And we are expecting this platform to become a catalyzer for development of entrepreneurship initiatives, for making them so that they can attain sustainable development and achieve success in the near future. Once again, thanks to you.
For giving thank you to you. And now I give the floor for His Excellency Timur Suleimanov, Assistant to the Rais of the... Sorry, not so sorry. Yeah, it's you, sure. The most active speaker, I think. Sorry. Assistant to the Rais of the Republic of Tatarstan, Chairman of the Regional Branch Council of the All-Russian Movement of Children and the Youth Movement of the First. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will say hello to Her Excellency Rada Khafizyan. I think it was really very great that we were together, seated in the first row, and had such a great opportunity to listen to your startups, the participants, because when we are talking about youth policy, it's almost the same when we are talking about creative industries, because it's a meeting point of different sectors, culture, business, youth policy, science, education, and all of it is about energy, all about the self-realization. And for Republic of Tatarstan, that's great, of course, and great honor hosting all of you here, because we see in our attitude to you as to the ambassadors of the Republic of Tatarstan, and we wish that you had the opportunity to taste a bit the flavor of Kazan, of the Republic of Tatarstan, so that when you're back home, you will be able to tell your kids, your family, that there is such a place as Kazan, and you can read about it, you can watch about it, but the best is to walk the streets, to know people, and we really looking forward to seeing you here again. And more than this, I'm quite sure, and I've heard it from His Excellency Damir Fatahov and Rinat Sadikov, and you see that we are very open to you, not just as participants, but maybe as the co-organizers of this event. And organizers, they look at it out of the box. And like business trainers, they teach us, think out of the box. But before thinking out of the box, you have to get inside the box to see how is it there inside. So I think that would be great if next year, maybe next forum, could be also programmed, designed with your participation, because as Damir Fattahov said, it's very difficult, the creative industries. It's very difficult to find something very much concrete as the result, because it's like a business forum. And I think it would be good if the result of this forum dedicated to creative industries could have interesting result in a nutshell. And I think we will take advantage of the proposal from Rosmolodezh about the Tavrida art residency. It seems that it could be like add value to this forum if there is Tavrida not just as logo but as experts participating in such a great international platform dedicated to creative industries. Thank you, dear Rafik Bey. Thank you for your support, and I'm very. Let's also give grand applause to our experts. And Mikhail Kuznetsov is here, and I know that he was very much involved in the process. And our good friend of Tatarstan, Anastasia Grishneva, Minister of Youth Affairs of Moldova, is also here. So together for a better world, to sustainable world, for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So we are almost at the end of our ceremony, but before saying goodbye, I have to thank you for being part of the 10th Kazan OIC Youth Entrepreneurship Forum, organized by the Ministry of Youth Affairs of the Republic of Tatarstan, Eurasian Regional Center of Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, Tatarstan Republican Youth Public Fund Selet, Academy of Young Diplomacy. Please, more applause. In partnership with the Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, Federal Agency for Youth Affairs, and Art Residency Reactor. So we thank our speakers for their advice and useful feedback during all these 3 days. Dear finalists, we wish further development of your project, and now we invite you to the stage to take a family photo together. Yeah, all participants, all speakers. A bit closer to each other, please. Huh? Just turn out like this. A bit closer. Все сейчас нормально? And now? Сейчас как? Нормально? Does everybody see this girl? Let's say OIC. OIC. 1, 2, 3, OIC. Done? Thank you very much. You're always welcome in Kazan.